quiz heads, welcome to episode number 106 of Takeaway Trivia, your pub quiz in a podcast. I'm Leon from Hereford UK, and I've been writing and hosting pub quizzes for over 22 years. This week, 4 more rounds of trivia, and it's up to you how you play. If you're at home with family or friends, grab some paper and pens, decide on a prize for the winner, and get ready to battle your brains. You decide how you keep score and punish the cheaters. I'll just provide the questions. Before we get started into the trivia, let's say hello to a few of you. First of all, Wendelin got in touch to say thank you so much for your awesome podcast. It kept us entertained on a 260-mile journey, and now I'm hooked and binge listening. Wendelin, thank you for messaging me. It's really nice to hear that we've helped some miles melt away for you, and enjoy listening to the rest of the podcast. Welcome on board, Wendelin. Dave the Welsh Cockney messaged on Twitter saying currently binge listening to the Bar Wars podcast on episode 24. Not bad considering I started listening on Monday. If you're into pub quizzes, then this is perfect. Dave, thank you for the kind words. It's good to have you listening. Mal has also been in touch saying, "Hi Leon, I've been enjoying your podcast weekly since the summer of 2020. I often listen on headphones while walking along the south coast. I really enjoy the background music you use. Keep up the good work." Mal in Dorset. Mal, thank you for the kind words. And I would be blissed to be on a beach down in Dorset right now. The Jurassic Coast, is that right? Or are you closer to Poole and Bournemouth way? I'm glad you enjoy the music. At my pub quiz every week, I play quite a lot of upbeat and energetic music to get the atmosphere lively, but I've taken a different approach to the podcast. I've gone for more chilled out tunes because I'm aware that quite a few people listen to this to help them drop off to sleep. It's a bit of a reverse compliment, isn't it? But that's the thought process behind the music on this. Glad you enjoy it, Mal. Thank you for listening, and enjoy your walks on the south coast. If you'd like to get in touch with the podcast, don't forget you can message me via the podcast's Twitter feed at Bar Wars or via the Facebook page, facebook.com/takeawaytrivia. This week I've got 4 rounds of trivia for you to do battle with, including the final fling. We'll be playing Clued Up. I've got the return of Wipeout, but let's start with general knowledge. Good luck. Round number 1 of this week's Takeaway Trivia, as usual, is general knowledge. Are you playing to win or are you playing for fun? Here we go, 10 questions. Question number 1. Which Doctor Who star appears alongside Jared Leto, or Leto, in Morbius? Number 1. Which Doctor Who star appears alongside Jared Leto in Morbius? It's a new Marvel film this week. I don't know if it looks any good or not. I might wait for streaming for that one. Number 2, on a dating website, what do the initials WLTM stand for? Number 2, on a dating website profile, what does WLTM stand for? Number 3, Elliot Carver is the villain in which James Bond film? Number 3, Elliot Carver is the villain in which James Bond film? Number 4, the thistle is the national emblem of which European country? Number 4, the thistle is the national emblem of which European country? Number 5, which was the first London Underground railway line to be built? Number 5, which was the first London Underground railway line to be built? I visited London a few weeks ago and went to the London Transport Museum. If you're ever stuck for something to do, I cannot recommend it enough. Really good fun. It's in Covent Garden if you need to visit it. Number 6, in cricket, which country is the current holder of the Ashes? Number 6, in cricket, which country is the current holder of the Ashes? Number 7, which is the only US state to begin with the letter P? Number 7, which is the only US state to begin with the letter P? Number 8, which actress provides the voice of Meg Griffin in Family Guy? Shut up, Meg. That was a terrible impression, I apologise. Number 8. Which actress provides the voice of Meg Griffin in Family Guy? Shut up. No, I can't do it. I can't do it justice. Number 9. What does RAM stand for? That's RAM when describing computer hardware. Number 9. What does RAM stand for when describing computer hardware? And number 10. Who sang the song The Seven Seas of Rye? It was a hit song in the 70s. Who sang it? Number 10. Who sang the pop song or rock song Seven Seas of Rye? That's your first 10. Hope you're off to a good start. I'm not going to find out the answers just yet. Well, not until we've done round number 2, which is next. For round number 2, it's Wipeout. This is another 10 questions of general knowledge, but with a twist in the tail. If you get just one answer wrong, you have to score yourself 0 on this round. You can pass by leaving an answer blank or scribbling it out, but like I said, just one answer wrong, and that's it. So you've got to play carefully on this round. Question number 1. If a dog is a canine, what is a fox? Number 1. If a dog is a canine, what is a fox? 2. In the high street fashion chain, what do the initials H&M stand for? Number 2. In the high street fashion chain, what do the initials H&M stand for? Number 3. Voodoo originated from which Caribbean country? Number 3. Voodoo originated from which Caribbean country? Number 4. Who is the original host of the Sky Sports quiz show A League of Their Own? Number 4. Who is the original host of the Sky Sports quiz show A League of Their Own? Number 5. Which archbishop was murdered in Canterbury Cathedral? Number 5. Which archbishop was murdered in Canterbury Cathedral? Number 6. Who's the director of the Strictly Come Dancing band? Number 6. Who is the director of the Strictly Come Dancing band? I don't know if it's the same person on America's Dancing with the Stars. Number 7. The Battle of Pork Chop Hill was fought during which war? Number 7. The Battle of Pork Chop Hill was fought during which war? In my real job, every now and then the canteen does these beautiful pork belly chops. That's what I'm thinking of as I read that question. Yum, yum, yum. Number 8. In which year did the Channel Tunnel begin construction? In 1881 or 1905? So number 8. In which year did the Channel Tunnel begin construction? Was it 1881 or 1905? You might be scratching your head a little bit at that one. Number 9. Fat Sam's Grand Slam, My Name is Tallulah, and So You Wanna Be a Boxer are all songs from which musical? Number 9. Fat Sam's Grand Slam, My Name is Tallulah, and So You Wanna Be a Boxer are all songs from which musical? Number 10. In which year did the original Godzilla film appear in cinemas? Number 10. In which year was the original Godzilla film released? There you go, that's your 10 questions on Wipeout. Be careful, if you get one wrong, you score 0 on that round. Let's find out the answers to general knowledge. Number 1, which Doctor Who star appears alongside Jared Leto in Morbius? It's Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor. He's in the film. Number 2, on a dating website, what does WLTM stand for? It's would like to meet. I just like meat. Number 3, Elliot Carver is the villain in which James Bond film? Tomorrow Never Dies. 4, the thistle is the national emblem of which European country? Scotland. 5, which was the first London Underground Railway line to be built? The Metropolitan Line. Number 6, in cricket, which country are the current holders of the Ashes? Australia. Grr. Number 7, which is the only US state to begin with the letter P? It's Pennsylvania. Number 8, which actress provides the voice of Meg Griffin in Family Guy? Mila Kunis. 9, what does RAM stand for when describing computer hardware? Random access memory. And number 10, who sang the song Seven Seas of Rise? It was the first single released by Queen. Total up your scores and get ready for round number 3. We continue into this next round, and this is Clued Up. 5 clues to the identity of a mystery celebrity, and you have to guess who they are as quick as you can. Clue number 1 is worth 10 points. Clue 2, you're playing for 8 points, and we play all the way through until clue number 5, which is worth just 2 points. This round relies on your honesty. Be honest with yourself when you guessed the celebrity correctly so that you award yourself the correct amount of points. Let's play Clued Up. And clue number 1 for 10 points. I was born in Oklahoma, 1963, to trucker William Alvin and Jane Etta, a school counsellor. Following high school, I enrolled in the University of Missouri in 1982, majoring in journalism with a focus on advertising. Who is it for 10 points? That clue again for 10 points. I was born in Oklahoma in 1963 to trucker William Alvin and Jane Etta, a school counsellor. Following high school, I enrolled in the University of Missouri in 1982, majoring in journalism with a focus on advertising. Who is it? If you haven't got it yet, here's your 8-point clue. 2 weeks before earning my degree, I left the university and moved to Los Angeles, where I took acting lessons and worked odd jobs. I appeared in 4 episodes of Dallas in 1988, and I made a guest appearance on the original 21 Jump Street, both classic US TV shows, but who is it? That 8-point clue again. 2 weeks before earning my degree, I left university and moved to Los Angeles, where I took acting lessons and worked odd jobs. I appeared in 4 episodes of Dallas in 1988 and made a guest appearance on the original 21 Jump Street. Okay, if you haven't got it yet, here is your 6-point clue. 1994 marked the turning point in my career when I won the MTV Award for my portrayal of vampire Louis de Pointe-du-Lac in the romantic horror film Interview with a Vampire. This was followed by a number of big movies, including Legends of the Fall, 12 Monkeys, and Seven. Your 6-point clue again. 1994 marked the turning point in my career when I won MTV Awards for my portrayal of a vampire called Louis de Pointe-du-Lac in the romantic horror film Interview with a Vampire. This was followed by a number of big movies, including Legends of the Fall, 12 Monkeys, and Seven. 12 Monkeys is brilliant. Really cool film. Okay, your 4-point clue. Off-screen, I'm known for 2 high-profile marriages. First to Friend star Jennifer Aniston, and my second was to Angelina Jolie, who I met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That clue again. Off-screen, I'm known for 2 high-profile marriages. First to Friend star Jennifer Aniston, and my second to Angelina Jolie, who I met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Your final clue, if you haven't got it yet, this should give it away. It's for 2 points. One of my most famous roles is that of Rusty Ryan in the Ocean's 11 film series. More recently, I've starred in Ad Astra, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the zombie flick World War Z. For 2 points, one of my most famous roles is that of Rusty Ryan in the Ocean's 11 film series, and more recently, I have starred in Ad Astra, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and zombie flick World War Z. Who is it? For 2 points. While you think about that, let's go back to the Wipeout round from earlier. How did you score? Here's the answers. Number 1, if a dog is a canine, what is a fox? It's vulpine. Number 2, in the high street store, what do the initials H&M stand for? Hennes and Moritz. Number 3, voodoo originated from which Caribbean country? Haiti. Number 4, who was the original host of the Sky Sports quiz A League of Their Own? James Corden. Number 5, which archbishop was murdered in Canterbury Cathedral? Thomas à Becket. Number 6, who is the director of the Strictly Come Dancing band? That's Dave Arch. 7, the Battle of Pork Chop Hill was fought during which war? The Korean War. Number 8, the Channel Tunnel began construction in 1881 or 1905. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, hang on a minute, the Channel Tunnel, that was built in the 90s. What's going on? What's going on? Actually, the first Channel Tunnel was attempted in 1881. Apparently it is still there. I don't know if there's public access to it, but it is still there, and it went out about 20 metres, I think, under the sea. Number 9, Fat Sam's Grand Slam, My Name is Tallulah, and So You Want to Be a Boxer are all from which musical? Bugsy Malone. And number 10, in which year did the original Godzilla film first appear in cinemas? 1954. That's a classic. Okay, your answers to Clued Up. Quite a hard one, I think, to begin with. They were born in Oklahoma in 1963. They appeared in 21 Jump Street and Dallas. Broke into Hollywood stardom in the films Legends of the Fall, The Excellent 12 Monkeys, and Seven. I think 12 Monkeys might just be his best role, actually. Off-screen, high-profile marriages, Friend star Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. They've also appeared in the Ocean's 11 films, Ad Astra, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and World War Z. It is Brad Pitt. That's who I was looking for. Well done if you got that. One of my friends does some work as an extra in films. He's based in London and he appears in World War Z. He's a good old school friend of mine and he's on the plane. There's a scene where Brad Pitt is on a plane in World War Z and you can see him in the background. Hello, Salem, if you're listening. He's also in the Avengers. He's in the Avengers scene when they're trying to lift the hammer in Avengers Age of Ultron, I think that was, when they're at the party at Avengers Tower. He's in the background there. It's mad, isn't it? His best role, though, he was in the IT Crowd as well. He was an extra in that. And I loved the IT Crowd. So I'm quite proud of him. Let's move on, shall we? I'll stop reminiscing about old school friends. The next round is the final fling. The final round this week, as always, is the final fling. 15 questions of trickier trivia for you to wrap your brain around. Question number 1. In February 1935, Wallace H. Carruthers, that's a proper British name, that, isn't it? First produced which synthetic material? So number 1. In February 1935, Wallace H. Carruthers first produced which synthetic material? I say, Mr. Carruthers. And number 2, a Mustang is what type of creature? Number 2, a Mustang is what type of creature? Number 3, OK Corral is in which US town? Question 3. OK Corral is in which US town? Number 4. Who directed the film Jurassic Park? We're talking about the original 1993 epic. Who directed it? Number 4. Who directed Jurassic Park? Number 5. Which European city is said to have been the first to introduce house numbers in 1512? Number 5. Which European city is said to have been the first to introduce house numbers in 1512? Question number 6. Canis vulpes is the scientific name for which animal? Now, we've had this mentioned, sort of, in the quiz earlier. Cast your mind back. Number 6. Canis vulpes is the scientific name for which animal? Number 7, Miss Hooley, Josie Jump and PC Plum are all residents of which Scottish island? Number 7, Miss Hooley, Josie Jump and PC Plum are all residents of which Scottish island? Number 8, Radial, Crossply and Runflat are all types of what? Number 8, Radial, Crossply and Runflat are all types of what? Number 9, which fruit did Nell Gwyn, mistress to King Charles II, sell in Drury Lane? Number 9, which fruit did Nell Gwyn, mistress of Charles II, King Charles II, sell in Drury Lane? She was born, apparently, in Hereford, where I reside. Number 10, which Asian country hosted its first Formula 1 Grand Prix motor race in October 2010? Number 10, which Asian country hosted its first Formula 1 Grand Prix motor race in October 2010? Number 11, how often does Halley's Comet appear? Number 11, how often does Halley's Comet appear? 12, in which country would you find Mount Eden? Number 12, in which country would you find Mount Eden? Number 13, who co-founded Microsoft alongside Bill Gates? Number 13, who co-founded Microsoft alongside Bill Gates? Number 15, what does the acronym RNLI stand for? So number 14, what does the acronym RNLI stand for? It's a British acronym. What does it stand for? And number 15, which British motorway reaches the furthest north? So number 15, which British motorway reaches the furthest north? That's your final 15 questions on this week's podcast. Let's find out how you've done. The answers to the final fling. Number 1, in February 1935, Wallace H. Carruthers first produced with synthetic material. It's nylon. Now, like I said, it sounds like a really British name. It's like a name you can imagine being used in those black and white Pathé films from like the 1920s. I say, here is Mr. Carruthers inventing nylon. He was actually from Delaware. He's American, but there you go. Nylon was the answer. Number 2, a Mustang is what type of creature? A horse. 3, the OK Corral is in which US town? Tombstone. Number 4, who directed Jurassic Park? Steven Spielberg. Of course it was Steven Spielberg. Number 5, which European city is said to have been the first to introduce house numbers in 1512? It was Paris, and I believe it was around the Notre Dame area. Number 6, Canis vulpes is the scientific name for which animal? It's a fox. We mentioned that in round 1 of this week's quiz. Number 7, Miss Hooley, Josie Jump and PC Plum are all residents of which Scottish island? It is, of course, Balamory, the famous kids' TV show here in Britain. Number 8, Radial, Crossply and Runflat are all types of what? Tyres. 9, which fruit did Nell Gwyn, mistress of King Charles II, sell in Drury Lane in London? That was oranges. Number 10, which Asian country hosted its first Formula 1 Grand Prix motor race in October 2010? South Korea. 11, how often does Halley's Comet appear? It's every 75 years. Some people say 76, so I'll give you a point if you've said that. Number 12, in which country would you find Mount Eden? That's New Zealand. Number 13, who co-founded Microsoft alongside Bill Gates? Paul Allen, sadly passed away in 2018. Number 14, what does the acronym RNLI stand for? It's Royal National Lifeboat Institution. And nothing but respect for the lifeboat people who do it out of the goodness of their hearts. They're all volunteers and they go and rescue people because, of course, England is a very coastal country. being an island, obviously. Duh. Number 15, which British motorway reaches the furthest north? The M90. The M90. There you go. There's your 15 questions on the final fling. Congratulations. If you are the high scorer this week, well done. If you're just playing in the gym and it's distracted you for 20 minutes, hope your achievements mentally are as good as those that you're doing physically. Well done. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast from and rate and review. And you can also check out Takeaway Trivia on YouTube now. Just give it a search and give it a listen. I'm going to leave you with one final tat fact. Did you know that the largest wave ever surfed was 80 feet high? That's the equivalent of 24.4 meters. That's huge. I wonder if it was a Mexican wave. Thank you for playing Takeaway Trivia. It's been a pleasure to be your quizmaster. Have a safe week, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Hope you enjoyed playing this week's Takeaway Trivia. Don't forget, we're now available wherever you get your podcasts. So please subscribe, rate and review to help this podcast grow. Also, if there's anything you'd like to be tested on, any subjects you'd like to hear in the quiz, please get in touch. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/takeawaytrivia or on Twitter at BarWars. Speak to you soon. The intro music is There It Is by Kevin MacLeod, available from incomputech.filmmusic.io, licensed by creativecommons.org.